All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Ouran High School Host Club, Episode 2. That
All
first
right.
episode was wonderful and hilarious, and the light bulbs all turned on eventually.
Everyone is aware and is going to be probably rather respectful.
Yep.
Because they are happy to have Haruhi in there.
Exactly.
So, awesome. Awesome.
We also had the vanquishing of
Yes, indeed.
a mean girl,
Yes,
which,
basically.
is always helpful, right?
Yes, indeed.
I am
Ayano
curious.
Koji, a princess? Or maybe referred to in a kind of a respectful
self-declared,
way. Well, also by the probably the host
Sure.
club as a way to be
Definitely.
like, yes, you are one of our wealthiest patrons, and you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
probably some fun drama that's going to come from that just in general. But yes, Tamaki, you figured it out last.
But even without that, Haruhi is not the kind of man that would do something like that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Yes. Good stuff. Good stuff. And all these characters were given kind of their shorthand shtick for the beginning here.
Yep.
But it'll be fun to, over the course of the series, get to know them in their more probably complex, nuanced, three-dimensional ways.
Right.
as well.
Beyond just when they're putting on
Their persona,
The persona of, the host club. Yeah.
Exactly. And then what niche fit is Haruhi going to kind of take within the host club as well?
Exactly.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Wow. Yeah.
This is just in the school.
Oh my god. The level of effort.
Yeah. It gives me like a Gilgamesh vibe.
Yeah.
Too much money and too much time.
こたつに縮こまるなどナンセンスこの完璧な空調設備は何のためだ世間が肌寒い春先だろうとこの部では凍える子猫たちを暖かな南国オーラで迎え入れるそう今日ここは史上常夏の熱い熱いアイランドなのだこの象牙のような艶やかな肌も似合いすぎるバリの王のごとき装束も女神の前ではひざまずき忠誠を誓うただのしもべそうそう来週は我がオーランホスト部主催の
yes. Yes, please.
Love it.
は
パーティーこのトロピカル企画は京也先輩が
俺に決定権はないよ
Really, none. Okay, so complete authoritative power.
Yeah.
Influence
go.
the decision making.
Yeah.
The Shadow King. This is complete now.
相変わらず意味不明だな
Right.
あ、すみません次にご予約の
2年 B 組
Kanako, okay.
All right.
最初に可愛いのね次はあなたをお気に入りにして差し上げてよ
You're not making me my favorite.
Depression.
Oh, wow.
庶民ラーメン食べて
The commoner's
プ
ramen.
ランニング手伝ってよ
彼女の病気は今に始まったことじゃないだろう
Oh.
病気
Oh.
さすらいのホスト巡り病
Okay, not an actual illness.
病ね
Wow.
Never the same boy twice.
もう我慢の限界だある日ちゃんと女の格好をしろ
You're competing with me too much.
Daga kotowaru.
女にモテモテにならねばいかんのだ
Wait, what?
お父様などうも
What?
お前が見たいんだよ
What?
手に引き伸ばさないでください
なんでこれがあれになっちゃう
Oh my god!
入学前日近所の子に髪の毛にガムをくっつけられて
Oh! She had to cut it!
俺としては男に見られても別にどうでもいいし
Alright.
俺なんていけませんお母さん
Are you looking back at the camera like, really?
Yeah. He is such a drama queen.
Based on composition!
Yeah.
でもパーティーはノルマに関係ないでしょ
that.
特に興味ないしできれば欠席
Tamaki's like, I will use this.
Social distancing is very important.
Yes, nice.
その覚悟のほどを見せてもらおう、ハルヒ君。
What is the limits of your resolve?
In 1 week?
来週のパーティーで披露でき
Uh-huh.
れば女の子であることを暴露して
Wow, alright, alright. Well, game on!
クイッククイックスロークイッククイックスローよくってハルヒ君
Amazing! Amazing!
I love
Yes!
その中からリード
Get wrecked, Tamaki.
Yeah.
Get wrecked. Oh!
すみません春日崎さん
いいの
No.
ハルヒ君
If it's you, I don't mind.
自分が練習相手になりたかったんだって
Oh.
春日の女役なんて
食器がお好きなんですね
別に好きじゃないわよ
Wait, wait. Wait.
好きなんだ
Yeah.
なんで
Yeah.
隠すんだろう
Why did Tamaki perk up at that?
Yeah, yeah.
君に選んでもらった品はどれも女の子たちに評判がいい。
Oh.
さすがだね。それは良かった。
業者
Oh.
の方ですか
一般の
Does she
Ah.
like him?
制服
Yeah.
彼の家、鈴島通称。
Okay, these two have a past of some kind.
Yeah. The strings aren't playing for nothing.
シェアは我が国トップだ。
いや僕の目なんてまだまだです
To notice what's right in front of you, maybe?
Yep, yep. Oh, he's leaving for England.
Gotcha.
Oh.
That'll do it, all right.
ホスト部は楽しいですかな
Yep.
You need to save this.
Exactly. Limited time.
Limited time, indeed.
別にしたし
Betsy?
今日は失礼するわごきげんよう
Oh!
鈴島くんは春日ちゃんの言い名付けなんだ
Oh, shit. Wait, wait, what?
What?
お前いつから知ってた
言い名付けの件か？
Oh!
もちろんお客様のことは一つ
Ah,
のリサーチ。
general research. It's nothing
二人は幼
that.
馴染婚約は両親の決め事のようだ。
Oh
特に利用
boy.
価値のない情報だから放っておいたが。
我がオーランホスト部は女の子を幸せにするために存在するのだ
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed, Tamaki. Yes.
And we will not stand for this.
Ah. Oh, glorious
Wow.
day.
Wow.
Like,
Yep. High school.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. The ultimate fantasy. Like,
Uh-huh.
this is just.
Yep.
なお、最高のダンスと認められ、
Oh.
今夜のクイーンに選ばれたお客様にはキングよりその頬に
Oh my.
贈られます。
It is good to be the king.
Yeah.
Baby.
Baby. Actually just swooning.
料理くらい食べておいたらどうだ？
Ah, yes. Food montage. Let's go.
Oh.
大トロとか
大至急ここに応答
They're like, no, much better.
But the fact that they're like, instantly fix this, get
Right.
some tuna here, stat.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Chuyo's like on the phone.
I love it. I love it.
I love how much they've become an awkward family in such a short amount of time.
Yes.
Because there's a couple things that you could kind of. Oh, here we go.
探してたのよ
Whoa.
一緒に踊ってくれるでしょ
では作戦開始という
All right.
Is her fiance also here? Wait.
Whoa. What?
いいか、ハルヒ。リミットはパーティークライマックスまでの20分。
Hmm.
すでに向かいの教室に鈴島氏を呼び出してある。
Wait.
うまく気持ちを聞き出してね
No way.
Oh my god.
No way. I love it.
ほら全員こっちに来てどうするお客様の相手
That's gonna take some maneuvering.
どうやったな
はるちゃんかわいい
体が重い靴が歩きづらい
頑張ってこいよ
Oh my god.
So she is going to literally bring the two together.
Yeah, yeah.
ラブラブあなたを
Oh.
私の心は超ラブラブ永遠に熱帯性低気圧に変わらない
It's way too much.
でありますノアの箱舟でランデブーした
What?
I'm done.
I have to know who wrote it though.
Yeah.
Ah, a collaborative
Collaboration.
between those three.
彼の気を引くためにいくらさすらいのホスト巡りをしてみても 君はティーカップを見ている方がよほど幸せそうだ。
Wow. He's perceptive.
見てごらんカナコ。
Oh, childhood friends, all like bonding over these old precious teacups.
こっちのがジノリ、マイセン、カナコは僕のお嫁さんだから全部教えてあげるね。
Oh, and then they grew up and
私が何をしてもあの人ちっとも気にしないし、
oh,
留学だって私の知らないうちに決めちゃった。
Oh, man.
だから僕も変わりたいと思ってる。世界を見てもっと大きな男になりたいんだ。
wow.
勝手だけど待っていてもらえたらと。
それは本当に勝手ですね。伝えもしないで分かってもらおうなんて無茶な話。
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
はっきりした
yeah.
思いがあるのに先延ばしにする必要がどこに？
Let's go, Haruhi.
カナコ。
あらごめんなさい、何かお邪魔しちゃったみたい。
No, 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 don't, no, no. Come on. No,
Come on!
go after.
Yeah. Are those actual
それでは皆
spotlights?
様楽しい今宵のひとときもいよいよ最後の一曲と
I
なり
know.
ました。
They shall dance
我々
together.
ホスト部からのラストワルツはこの
Ah.
春日姫。僕と踊っていただけますか。
Oh. Oh, what
Nice.
what wonderful animation!
Yeah.
What wonderful soft just movement! Oh, that was so good.
Yeah. Ah,
classic.
All right, all right, all right.
Even with the classic music too.
Just eating bananas.
君が好きだ。
Oh.
ずっと好きだった。改めてプロポーズする。
Oh.
Nice.
今夜でさすらいのホスト巡りはおしまいね。
All right.
不器用カップル祝福あれ。
それでは祝福のキスを
Yeah.
キングより。
出番か。
Oh my God.
藤岡春
Wait. So they're put. Wait. Wait.
ラストにはアクシデントがあった方が盛り上がるって京也先輩が。
借金3分の1カット。
Oh. The banana peels, though. The banana peels.
Yep, yep. Uh-huh.
もしかしてはるちゃんファーストキスなんじゃ。
何？そのキスは
Oh! Yep. Yep. Oh! Oh!
な理由でファーストキスを女の子に捧げてしまったけれど、なんか気分のいい夜なのでこれでよしとするか。
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow. That was wonderful.
And they, like, I love how Keikaku Dore this was, like, with the spotlights and them, like, eating the bananas well beforehand. They're like,
yes.
okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Prepared.
Because not only, yes, we're going to say that, Haruhi is the one to give the kiss, right? But we know that Tamaki is going to freak out and be like, first kiss potentially? No! And then just, shoop. That was sweet.
That was really,
really sweet.
adorable. That was really sweet.
I feel like now it's like, okay, yeah, we've got a good dynamic for the show, you know?
Yep.
There's new characters that get brought in because they are the host club after all. They listen.
They need to host.
They need to host,
characters,
but as a part of that, because I think it's easy to forget that amidst all of this just sort of having fun and goofing off, what they're here for is companionship, basically.
Yes.
To listen to the hearts of the people that come there and to assuage their fears and give them a great time and let them leave with a smile on their face, right? And if they're dealing with any kind of conflict or drama or whatever at the time, then they can help fix it. There you go. Boom. And fix it with style.
Yes, and even if they don't end up fixing it, just being there for them in these moments can lead to some really cool like antics and stuff.
Yep.
But it can also lead to even better antics if they do basically attempt to fix it and it doesn't work out.
Sure.
Because while this whole thing worked out really well, there are a couple ways where if they had their information wrong, it might have actually gone a lot worse.
Oh, sure.
So in some ways, this is showing the extreme competence of
And confidence.
characters like Kyoya, for instance, who just, yes, I gather all the information.
Yep, I've done my research.
Done my research, exactly,
Yep.
exactly. And because it wasn't relevant to us doing our job, I didn't bring it up. It's
Exactly.
like, whoa, so...
It's kind of a big,
Like,
important, essential set of details.
Right, right, but every person then that comes into the host club, in some ways, they've studied out an angle by
Oh,
which they can do this. So
definitely.
they're like, all right, we're going to position you to be, in place of her. And
Right.
stuff like that. It basically puts Haruhi in a very unique position in that they can basically have Haruhi speak to any one of them about anything.
Yep.
And Haruhi's going to have a very unique perspective on the whole thing. Because ultimately, he, in this case, is actually having a kind of a conflict of sorts of where they're kind of using the...
Yes. The debt and all of that.
Right,
Yeah.
the debt basically
Yep.
to
To
have
force him to do stuff,
have him do stuff for them.
Right.
But also the idea of basically outing his femininity to the to the rest of the
Right.
the girls and stuff like that.
that kind of casual blackmail that's just sort of done in anime because, the story needs to happen and well, I mean, we would never actually do that, right? Because we're good friends and stuff, but we'll say that we're going to do it because we need you to do this thing and plot. Let's keep things moving along. you know?
Right, and it's one of those things where I don't sense any immediate hostility.
Oh, definitely
And yet,
not, yeah.
And yet there is this element of I am going to use you, basically.
You're kind of our slave right now. Yeah.
Right, right. And yet, that thing of I feel like all of the original host club members, they actually really like Haruhi, and in some ways, this being the first kind of episodic kind of story here, it feels kind of apropos for is it Hanako, the girl that was just introduced.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe it was Hanako. That she was lacking in basically a little bit of confidence with how to basically address this whole thing.
Right,
Because
being open and honest with
fiancé was-
herself about her feelings and with her fiance about her feelings.
because
and vice versa.
He was also being a little bit, timid about communicating those
Right.
feelings.
And he got down on himself because of his timidity, but it was also taking for granted her affection, right?
Yes.
Because not just being like, oh, I'm going to study abroad and we'll get married when I get back or whatever. It's like, you can't just decide to do that because of your own insecurities, right?
Right.
That does have an effect on her because she does really care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a very wholesome episode for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting to see these two characters who are childhood friends need to be
all adorable
reconnected
and-
over the course of their time spent at the host club.
Yep.
But it was something where, looking at this from the essence of basically two people that have, some feelings for each other but aren't able to communicate them in some way, it does feel kind of like a parallel for a comedy duo for the most part right now.
Sure.
That has some maybe feelings, maybe not entirely mutual,
Right.
but
Yeah.
Tamaki, we can tell you very much like Haruhi. Like it is not subtle, and Haruhi, might
you were
have-
kind of cool back there.
yeah, might have some
Yeah.
feelings, but you were kind of a baka, so
Oh,
it's kind of
definitely
hard
a baka, yeah.
hard to see when Haruhi would be showing them.
Oh man, the Tamaki sinking into a mild depression when it's the oh no,
She's chosen you
she's chosen
over me.
I
I can no longer be fit to be called
it's-
the king.
It's such a drama queen, like just I am the center of the universe kind of take on things.
Oh my God,
that-
yes.
That it's like yeah,
Egomania. Out the wazoo.
absolutely, yeah.
And yet, And yet we've seen where Tamaki has lowered himself in the ego sense to help Haruhi. So there's a lot of this here that feels like the persona of the characters that they play in the host club dynamic can end up being basically just perfect self-expressions of who they are. But it could also be a fun way to see who they are inside butts against the character that they play.
Because one of the things that I really liked here as far as specific details is that Tamaki noticed the thing of the tea.
Yes.
Instantly, right?
Right.
Now,
he had spent a lot of time with her in the past.
Yes, he had, right? But as egocentric as he is, I wouldn't be too surprised if he didn't necessarily pick up on that. Now, granted, to be the king of the host club, he would have to be very good at picking up on what his partner is feeling and thinking and things like that so that he can best, make them have a good time, right? But that goes to show that even though he is very self-absorbed a lot of the time, he understands the importance.
Right.
He's good at checking in on how people are feeling, right?
Yep, exactly.
Just maybe not when he is genuinely, emotionally invested, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I like that as a way to basically make it so that, yes, he is, most of the times that he's on screen, it is comedic purposes, but it's not just that. And it's establishing that so that way I can be excited for the potential romance between Tamaki and Haruhi to happen, because I know that he does have depth to him, right? Even though it's very well concealed.
Exactly. It is possible for him to be very conceited and still be all in all basically a person who very much cares not just about Haruhi, but about all the characters that come into the host club. Because when he says our main duty is to bring these girls happiness, that is something that he believes, and it goes beyond his vain aspects of himself.
So much so that no, we're not going to do something as simple as get the guy to open up about his feelings and stuff and then bring them together. No, we're going to make it fully dramatic in ways that could, and this is again the conceited part,
backfire.
In the ways that could totally backfire at multiple points. If he hadn't run after her, if she had held on to the fact of whatever assumptions she made of seeing him with Haruhi, or if the spotlights were just a bit too much pressure, and interrupting what he was going to say with a dance, there are so many ways that it could have gone wrong, but because it's the no. We study this.
Oh, yeah. We set up people to basically have the best experience.
Right.
There are choices that they need to make in order for it to be the best experience.
But we are going to guide them.
We are guiders. We guides. So let's say guiders. And I was like, that's not a word. We are guides, basically. And while they are guides, in that regard, we can still tap into our energy across the spectrum with regards to how we deliver that guiding direction.
Right, because after all, we don't have to directly make sure that it happens. We will just be the hosts.
Exactly.
And anytime a story or a character or whatever goes into extremely competent, basically customer service agents.
Yes,
because that's essentially what this host club is, right?
I'm here to be serviced, and they're oh,
right,
really?
You could basically just replace these with they're basically wait staff, kind of, right? Not entirely,
extreme wait staff.
But extreme niche specific and hyper competent wait staff, right? Personal wait staff, right? And that's. I love it. It's so cool and has that classy aesthetic and feel to it, while at the same time, showing that these people do care, right?
Yeah, I honestly am curious though, in a completely meta, just take it the idea that we've all experienced the social distancing aspect of 2020. How many of you would fork over money for a service like this right now? Especially now. Because I was just kind of thinking about it, and I'm this seems kind of amazing, actually. That's really cool. And not just the thing of then it makes you feel special, but it's the idea of then it's just like, oh, wow, I would need something like that.
Sure, yeah, I mean,
Wow, I've been sneezing a lot.
one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting is that they didn't seem surprised by the fact that she was engaged, right? It was just or the people who didn't know that information, yes, they were surprised, like because of the details of it. But it's there was this feeling that I got of no. Everyone that comes here has something that they're dealing with in some way, shape, or form, right? Even if it's not something like super big and serious and pressing right now, maybe it's just they need a place to relax, unwind, whatever. It's their form of entertainment, that they are kind of performing a public service here by being the attentive, caring hand for whoever is going through something in their life, and then they come here and they are wined and dined and their problems are listened to.
It is a thing of where they are getting brought into the fantasy land of where the outside world probably doesn't exist.
Right.
But it is not something where it is completely ignored. It is in some ways used as helpful info. And that's probably just an insight on how the host club industry, I guess, in Japan would probably work, is that it's like, oh no, we get this kind of info. We very much use this kind of info to make everything just better in general for them. And that overall makes our, skills as hosts better in the long run.
There was a point when I was working at a smoothie bar inside of a gym. And it was a lot of fun because I could spend a decent amount of time with each of the customers because I was the only one working there. And they would be tired after like a workout. So they'd get their smoothie and then just sort of sit there, for 10, 15 minutes or whatever before they went off to work or whatever it was, right? Drink their smoothie in some nice peace and, relative quiet. And I would talk with them. And I ended up getting a notebook.
I was going to say, you would have had to get a notebook so you keep track of.
And I got a notebook and I basically just, kept track of their names and things like that, and things that I noticed or that we talked about or and whatnot, so that way I could better connect with them.
You're going above and beyond.
Just it was fun to do, right?
Right.
Nothing like what they're doing here, right?
Oh, totally.
But I love seeing that happen in fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, for any of you that also like seeing this happen in fiction, you might want to check out Yakuza 0. Just saying, but so
that's a cabaret club in there.
Indeed. So female staff, but
gotcha.
But basically the same thing. Basically the same thing. But
cool. Yeah. I very much liked the Kyoya moment of Team Mom. That was rather good. But also the idea of
the shadow leader.
Yeah, exactly. Like I might have left a Bali
magazine or whatever.
On his desk.
Yep. That was great.
Yeah, Haruhi being the observant one that just kind of takes in all this new stuff, but just slowly but surely beginning to understand the things that make them different, not just within their roles at the host club, but like what kind of energy they bring to these individual, issues and stuff. So, all right. Good stuff. Very, very nice episode. As I kind of get more and more into this show, I really, really want to eventually go back and watch it in the dub just to see how a lot of these lines are delivered. Because they are so dramatic.
But I will say, Mamoru Miyano,
he's killing it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even need to audition for the role. They're just like, hey,
this was a long time ago.
Miyano, could you just could you do this role for us?
Yeah, just remember, this is before Steins Gate. That's true. A lot of
That's
things.
true. Okay,
around 15 years ago.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Damn, that's
something like that. It was like 13 years ago or something.
But like
that.
he totally steals the spotlight every
he's
time
doing a fantastic
he has a scene.
Job, yeah.
So
yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Indeed. The info for that is all in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.